Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about the first domain of AI, which is data. How it forms the backbone of AI systems that you are trying to develop, and how data fuels these AI models. We will be talking about data and data sets and how to make data usable. Because the data that you collect is not always usable as it is. It needs to be processed and converted to a more usable form before you can actually use it. Let us start with why we need data in the first place. Say you want to develop an app that identifies fruit. Now, I always say that when you are thinking of AI models and how they learn, you should think about how a small child learns. If you have a 2 or 3-year-old child and you want to teach them to identify fruits, what you will do? You will show them pictures of whatever fruit you want them to identify. Large pictures, small pictures, pictures in different colors if that fruit occurs in different colors, different perspectives, top view, bottom view, how it looks from the side, how it looks if it is sliced, how it will look if it is cut or diced. And that is exactly what you will need to do with the fruit identifying AI model. You will need to teach them to identify these pictures. In case of AI models or AI systems, the teaching or learning that happens is called training. So how will you train a fruit identifying app? You will need to show them lots of images of all the types of fruits that you want them to identify from all the angles, all sizes, in all sort of environment. One fruit among a group of vegetables, or a fruit kept in a bucket, a fruit kept in a bowl of different color and sizes. Each image is the data that is required, and when all these images are put together for training, that is a data set. Collection of large amount of data which is organized in a way that makes it easier to process and analyze is a data set. And AI will learn patterns by studying this data set and make predictions based on it. If it sees 100 images of, say, oranges, then we can safely assume that we show a new image, then it will be able to identify that as an orange. Now, data can be structured or unstructured. Structured data, you can think of spreadsheets, most structured format. You have a spreadsheet that has 100 pictures of bananas, yellow, green, large, small, sliced, diced, cut, from top angle, from side angle. It will be easier to make them part of data set. But some data can also be unstructured. Take, for example, a social media thread where people are talking about fruits, their love of fruits, what they like about them, their color, their texture, their taste, how ripe they are, how raw they are, how they are cut in different shapes. That would also be data that you want for your data set that will train the fruit identifying app, but it is unstructured. We will see how we take these structured and unstructured data and process them to put in a data set. But before doing that, I want to tell you that an AI model does not stop with learning from the data set that we prepare for training. It learns, you can say, on the job. Let me give you an example of YouTube. All of you watch YouTube. You are watching this video on YouTube right now, and you must be seeing, if you are not watching it in full screen mode, then you will see that on the right hand side there is a sidebar where there are recommended videos listed. How does YouTube do that? It uses your watch history. What type of videos you have watched prior to this. Sometimes it will look at data from users from your demographic, location, age, education, gender, what people similar to you watch. If you're watching this video, then it shows you are interested in learning about AI. So it will show you educational videos of AI. Every time you watch a YouTube video, you are training it. The AI model will keep it as part of its data set, and it will continue to learn so that it can give you better and better recommendation with time. Now, like I said, you need large amount of data for accuracy, but you also need larger amount of data because AI learns better from diverse scenarios. For example, if you have not shown it the top view of a strawberry and then suddenly you show it, will it be able to identify? Because from the top the leaves of the strawberry are more prominent than the body of the fruit. So will it be able to identify? You cannot be sure. It might not. To ensure better accuracy, you need to have large data set. Now, when large amount of data is collected, it needs to be cleaned and analyzed. Because real life is messy and it can contain errors, it can have missing values, it can have irrelevant information, and that can confuse and mislead the AI model that you are trying to train. The data cleaning will ensure that the data is accurate and it is consistent and it is usable. Because what data cleaning will do, it will remove duplicate values, it will remove outliers. What are outliers? Extreme values that occur very rarely. For instance, I am storing age of people and I know it cannot be negative number, or it cannot be very unlikely number, say 287, 143. If that data is there, that means that is inaccurate and it can be removed. So incorrect entries and outliers will be removed, duplicates will be removed, and that is how data is cleaned so that it becomes more usable. Next, data is also put into standardized formats so that it is easier to process, easier and faster. Let me give you an example. Suppose you have to store the birth date of students. If you ask the people for the date of birth of their kids, somebody will give you that data in DDMMYYY format, somebody will give you in MMDDYYY format, somebody might just write, say, 12th January. All these different formats will make it very difficult to process and will take time as well as resources. That is why data is put into standardized formats. Now, sometimes data that is collected is incomplete. For example, you are trying to predict behavior of shoppers based on their gender, and you do not have gender data for 20% of the data. That is incomplete data. When you try to make predictions based on incomplete data, the output might be inaccurate or biased, which is not the outcome that you want. So what do we do? When faced with inaccurate data, you have two options. Either you remove that data completely, that 20% of people whose gender you do not have, you just delete their data. But lots of time and resources have already gone into collecting, so you can also use statistical techniques to fill those missing data points. Talking about statistical techniques, it's beyond the scope of this video. You can just go to the blog post I have linked in the description, and from there you can read more about them. For now, you just need to know that there are statistical techniques available which can help you fill the missing data points so that the time and resource that you spent does not go waste. Before the data finally makes part of that data set, it has to be analyzed to check that it is relevant for that project. Now, mean by relevant to that project. If I continue with that fruit identifying AI model example, then you need only images of fruits as part of that data set. Fruits can be in different setting, kept in a fruit basket, part of a fruit bowl, in hands of someone, but it should be an image of a fruit. It cannot be images of humans or buildings or landscape. When we talk of that final analysis, data is rechecked for inconsistencies, missing entries or corrupted data, and if something was missed in the previous steps, then that is remedied here. Now, I have been talking about the time and resources required again and again, but there is another thing that you need to take care of: storage costs. You already know that storing data is very expensive. So there are data analysis tools available to avoid storing unnecessary information or storing repetitive information. For example, if you just need weekly trends to get insights from your sales data, then you can summarize those daily sales data into weekly trends and save them rather than the daily sales data. That reduces storage needs without losing any of the insights. So that is all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please ask in the comments, and please check out more videos from the playlist. I have talked only about the first domain of AI. The other two domains, that is computer vision and natural language processing, I have linked in the description. Go watch them and understand all about domains of AI.